Law enforcement is going to the dogs, and Calhoun County is leading the way.
Temperatures will continue to rise across East Alabama this weekend. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up.
There were some high school football jamboree games last night. We'll check in with our local teams coming up in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Friday, August 18th, 2023. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
The Calhoun County Sheriff's Department and School Board have partnered with Global Canine to bring the Paws on Patrol program to local schools. This effort provides specially trained animals to detect weapons and other dangerous substances in a non-disruptive manner while greeting and interacting with students. Global Canine has also teamed with the Alabama Sheriff's Association to create the Larry Amerson School Safety Scholarship. This is named for the late Calhoun County Sheriff, who was in office for 22 years and who made school safety one of his top priorities. The first of these awards was given out in Anniston today to Blount County Sheriff Mark Moon and Macon County Sheriff Andre Brunson.
Hobson City officially cut the ribbon this morning on its new museum for the study of African American culture and history, which features a collection of artifacts from Alabama's first incorporated all-black town. The museum currently takes up several classrooms in the former Calhoun County Training School building, which was built 100 years ago and served as the only high school for the county's black population. Part of the building is now used for the Hobson City Town Hall, and Mayor Alberta McCrory says she hopes the museum will be able to expand into other classrooms as well. The mayor presided over today's ribbon cutting, which included local officials and many longtime Hobson City residents.
Miss Katie is our oldest living person who was born in Hobson City and still lives here. Her grandmama, you'll see her picture on the wall, was one of the earliest settlers of this community, very permanent family in this community. So we thank you, Miss Katie, for, I don't care what we have in Hobson City, Miss Katie is going to be there for us, and I appreciate that. So thank you all so much again, and hopefully we'll stay around and get some good pictures, and you all do your phones. What is that stuff y'all do on the phone? Live.
This ceremony was part of Hobson City's 124th Founders Day celebration, which continues on Saturday with an all-day family reunion in J.C. Striplin Park. Mayor McCrory says she's expecting 1,500 people or more to attend the event, which will feature both home cooking and some local food vendors. The Founders Day ceremonies will end Sunday with a worship service at the Oak Ridge Missionary Baptist Church. When we come back, we'll tell you about a major health concern being addressed by local school officials.
Well, my name is Mike Craven, and we recently purchased an open carport, metal carport from Waldrop Manufacturing. I have an extra car. We have a very small home, very small driveway, and I needed somewhere just to park another vehicle, just out of the weather. And I had been told by 2 or 3 friends that knew we had recently remodeled a home that Waldrops were the people that you need to go talk to. I was in that area one day and I thought, hey, I'll just stop in, and I did without calling, and greeted warmly, well taken care of. It was just, really the whole process was just good from day one.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
The on-court death earlier this year of Alabama high school basketball standout Caleb White made national headlines and highlighted an uncomfortable reality. Even young athletes can die from medical emergencies. Officials haven't released the cause of White's death, but his grandfather wrote on social media that his grandson died from cardiac arrest. Here in East Alabama, officials say public schools have equipment to help coaches respond if a student collapses from cardiac arrest. Assistant Jacksonville Fire Chief Randy Child says these devices can save lives.
If it's a significant cardiac event like that, they're going to pass out. They're going to be on the ground, and however they land is how they're going to be until somebody can get to them and try to get their airway opened up and try to get some air into them, or start CPR if they need it.
The devices are user-friendly defibrillators, also known as AEDs, and they can shock the heart to restore a normal heartbeat while paramedics drive to the scene.
So a lot of times when people go into cardiac arrest, their heart is not beating normally. It's quivering, for lack of a better term. It's quivering. And so when it's doing that, we have the ability with the AED, which is called an automated external defibrillator, and what it does is it will shock the heart, so it generally stops it. It says that electricity stop, and in hopes that when your heart starts back, that it starts back normal and beating normal. But it has to have some type of electrical activity still going on for us to be able to shock them.
Oxford High School has several AEDs on campus, and it has an emergency action plan on how to use them, says Ashley Siskey-Stillwell, the school's public information officer. Jacksonville High is equipped with 3 AEDs, and the system also supplies 3 more AEDs for coaches to carry to off-campus athletic events, says lead nurse Judy Sheely.
The way they make AEDs now, they're really user-friendly. They're good for lay people, can use them easily. They have a lot of big instructions on them with pictures to show you how to use them. They're taught in all CPR classes. It's taught how to put an AED on. And then once you actually open an AED, it starts talking to you, and it talks you through and tells you what to do with where to put the pads, don't touch the patient, when to shock them, if they can be shocked. So it's made for the lay person, and it's really user friendly, and it actually talks to you as it's analyzing the patient.
The Oxford and Weaver Police Department are asking for the public's help in finding Isaiah Formby and Cheyenne Elise Woodard, both 15 years old. They were last seen Thursday and may be traveling together in a white 2016 Subaru Crosstrek, tag number DV95B23. If you have any information, please contact Oxford Police at 256-835-6133 or Weaver Police at 256-820-1766.
When we come back, we'll tell you about a tribute to a very special woman in Cleburne County.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Was the Cleburne County Community Chorus singing at last night's concert in the courthouse. The program was dedicated to the memory of one of the chorus members, Paula Short, who passed away this summer. Choir director Sandra Pullen says Mrs. Short was a vital part of this chorus.
Paula was always smiling. Every time I introduced a song, when everyone else was getting frustrated, she would just be smiling. And I have learned, over the last 6 months more about the people who are in this choir, and she was a very dedicated choral student in high school. She was a part of All-State Choir at Welborn, and her choral director, Ann Kimbrough, is a dear friend of mine. So she was very, very talented and knew a great deal about music. So we were so blessed to have her as a part of our choir, and she will be so greatly missed.
So, big weekend coming up, a lot of things happening now that school's back in session. The weekends we have a lot more stuff to do.
That's exactly right. It'd be good to have some great weather for that.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's see if John Holder in the EAN Weather Center can provide us that great weather.
Mike and Katie, if great weather means hot weather and sunny weather, we've got a great forecast for you. But if you like cool weather, we don't have any of that coming in sight. We'll have the complete weekend forecast coming up next.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
As promised, temperatures are slowly rising every day across East Alabama today. We were back in the 90s once again, 91 for the high after a morning low of 64. We will not see that for quite some time coming. Record high temperature 101 degrees, the record low at 59. You see the averages there. Look at that sunset now, 7:26. Your sunset time coming up on your Friday night. Weather on your street for a Friday night. Take out to Glenwood Terrace in Anniston, beautiful neighborhood on the east side of town. Clear skies, light winds tonight, 5 miles per hour or less tonight. 63 for the lows, no chance of rain. It's a great neighborhood to walk in. Be pretty good later on this evening for an evening stroll after the sun sets. On your Saturday across East Alabama, temperatures beginning to rise. Dry Valley Road out in East Teboga. It's going to be dry. It's also going to be sunny. It's going to be hot. 92 for the high tomorrow in East Teboga along Dry Valley Road. And as we look at next week, temperatures are going to continue to rise. Upper 90s all week long, beginning on Monday and Tuesday. We have 100s possible out on Sachs Road in Sachs. It is going to be hot in Sachs and all across Calhoun and Cleburne counties next week. As a matter of fact, this might be the hottest weather we've had all summer long. Take a look at these numbers in our 7-day forecast. 93 Saturday, 94 Sunday, 94 again on Monday, but then look at these numbers. Tuesday, the heat really kicks into high gear. 97 degrees on Tuesday, 98 on Wednesday, 97 again on Thursday, 98 next Friday, just in time for high school football. No chance of rain for the next 7 days, and some of these temperatures might not be hot enough. We could very easily see 99, 100, 101 degrees on some backyard thermometers coming as we head in to next week. What's causing all this heat and lack of precipitation? Well, look at our national map here. You see this huge dome of high pressure right over the triple point where Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois come together. That big mass of high pressure is basically covering all of the country, most of the country under high pressure. That means no fronts come through. That means very little moisture coming in, and that means hot temperatures and plenty of sunshine. And this map is going to stay pretty much this way on the eastern side of the United States for the next several days. It may be September before we have rainfall here in East Alabama. So think about that, how hot and dry it's going to be for the next several days. Well, we're playing high school football and all this. Jamborees are underway. Chase Robinson has the details now in sports. Chase?
Thanks, John. The high school football season is less than a week away from officially starting, and last night and tonight some Jamboree games happening across East Alabama. Looking at some scores from some of the Jamboree games last night, Oxford was able to go on the road to Fort Payne and come home with a 28-3 win. Junior quarterback Mason Mims was 15 of 23 with 164 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Also last night, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles had a big night as they defeated Sachs 41-0. Senior quarterback Jim Ogle throwing for 5 touchdowns in the first half. Also last night, Coosa Christian hosted Handley and Pell City for a Jamboree. Handley was unbeaten on the night, beating Coosa Christian 26-14 and Pell City 22-3. And Pell City took down Coosa Christian 21-14. More Jamboree games coming up tonight out at the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. There will be White Plains, Sandrock, Westbrook Christian, Spring Garden, and Ranburne. Those games will begin at 4:30. We'll bring you another team preview tonight as we count down to the high school football season. Tonight we'll spotlight the Pleasant Valley Raiders. After a summer of workouts and competition, the Pleasant Valley Raiders are ready to take the field for this 2023 season. One difference this season is that there are competitions going on at several positions, which is a good thing for head coach Jonathan Nix.
You know, we got 4 out of 5 of our offensive linemen back, our whole D-line's back with a couple of kids that are now playing that's going to push for starting spots. I mean, we've got a couple of positions that we're possibly going to have a kid or a couple of kids that played 10 ball games for us last year that might not start this year.
Wow.
Now, when I say he doesn't start, that doesn't mean that he's not going to play. It's just he might be on a limited rep. And so competition has been really, really tough this summer as far as if I'm a starter on one of these positions. Now we have some, weak spots on both sides that we're still fighting for that to see who wins those starting spots. But, for us coming into a season and having some depth is a good thing.
This season, the Raiders will have a lot of guys back from previous years, and one thing Coach Nix is excited to see is that guys are coming out for more than just 1 year.
It's the most kids that have played 3 years. The thing that was, that we're trying to break that habit, and it's a slow process to break, is for whatever reason I want to come out for football my senior year.
Yeah.
And that's just a tough deal, you know. And maybe, sometimes seniors see that, hey, this is it, and so let me try this. Well, that's a tough sport to just come out then.
Coming off of a 4-6 season last year and finishing 5th in 2A Region 6, Coach Nix has seen this team hungry to win, especially being after so close to a playoff berth last season.
Out of every year that I've been at Pleasant Valley, last year's locker room and the Weaver game, even though the kids won, that's the saddest team that I've coached at Pleasant Valley that did not want the season to be over. So they just knew that they were a playoff team. They had the opportunities to, to capitalize on some of those ball games, and that's kind of what these seniors, we only have 6 seniors this year, but our seniors and juniors have really got together and they've said, hey, how do we make the most of every opportunity we get? Like we lost 3 ball games, right there in final possession, and a lot of that was with some of the youth. And so it's capitalizing on opportunities, the ability to finish.
The Raiders will open up their season week 1 as they go on the road to Donahoe. That's it for sports. Let's send it back over to Mike and Katie.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
You can find us here online every weekday evening starting around 6:30 on either Facebook or YouTube. Just go to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday for your news on your schedule.
We know.